Is Jacob Mizorowski's arm okay? Is his arm going to be okay after this season?
I mean,
maybe not. He's just built different.
He just threw today or no yesterday threw another fastest pitch by a starting pitcher at 105.5.
Yep.
Is tied for third fastest pitch ever, only 0.3 miles an hour behind Aroldis Chapman.
So Aroldis Chapman never got 106. Just barely missed it.
Yeah. I think he's gonna hit 106. I'm not even gonna lie, because he said, "quote I think I slipped a little bit on that pitch. My front foot slid out from under me." So he threw 105.5 while slipping.
I think it's one of those things where I think he could hit 106 in perfect conditions. Like if you went out, you had good rest, you had you went out and like your purpose was to get 106, only 106. I don't know if it's something you're gonna see in game though. Like it's just your purpose to be out there on the mound is not to just try and get a record, right? You're trying. You got a batter to face. If you're to put him out there on a mound just to get 106 on the dial, though, I bet he could get it.
Oh, for sure.
It's just, God, in game, you gotta like pay attention to the batter and your poor catcher.
Yeah.
Have we ever talked about that? Have we ever talked about the poor catcher? That's.
Oh yeah, no.
It's one thing to deal with. It's one thing to deal with the Aroldis Chapman for an inning. You have to deal with this guy for 5.
That's crazy.
Has anybody been thinking about that?
Who's the catcher over there? Oh, it's Contreras.
Is it still Contreras?
Or is it Gary? Or is it Gary Sanchez? Because they got 2 catchers.
They got to at this point.
Yeah, okay, it is still William Contreras, and I guess sometimes probably Gary Sanchez, but I don't know who catches the Miz.
Like every other day, they gotta swap out because the catcher's hands freaking.
Yeah,
bruised.
I feel like they gotta like alternate catching for him.
That's crazy though. He is on an absolute tear. I mean, what do you do with that guy? We've been talking about it kind of since he started popping off. I personally would call him the best pitcher in baseball. You can make arguments about other stats and other things. I think as a pure pitching dominance, the strikeouts he's got, just that's the man right there. 146 strikeouts.
Drewski, you sound like you had something to say.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say I played catcher in Little League for a bit, and I mean, even then, you got to be careful about like taking your balls right off your palm in the glove.
Yeah.
It hurt. I mean, and these are like little leaguers, kids throwing like 40, 50 miles an hour. I mean,
yeah, it still hurts.
I can't even imagine what it's like taking 100 plus into that glove.
Ugh.
I don't care how padded those gloves are, man. That still hurts.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I caught a linebacker during the seniors versus faculty softball game. So I was playing short, and she just hit a screamer. This is like the PE teacher that was a former like softball player and all this shit. She hit a screamer right back at me, and I was using some old ass glove from like my dad. Like this thing is probably from the 80s, man. I don't even know. I didn't even have a glove. And I caught it flush, like you just said, where the ball hit directly on my front finger, or my pointer finger and middle finger's knuckles, and that shit felt like it was broke, but I didn't break. They were just bruised for like a solid week, and that was just a comebacker softball. Yeah, catcher mitt's a little different and all that, but I just can't imagine what Miz is doing to those catchers, man. You can't get crossed up with him. Please, God.
Yeah,
you cannot get crossed up with him.
I mean, like, like I know a lot of times quarterbacks will buy their offensive line some nice gifts for Christmas. They'll get them like golf carts or, something like that. The Miz needs to buy his catcher something for Christmas this year specifically.
Oh my god, yeah. All right. Well, welcome to the Untitled Furry Baseball Podcast. My name's Argo.
My name is Drewski.
I'm Solis the Wolf.
And we got a couple topics, I think, here, but I think the biggest news came from Drewski's team yesterday, so you want to get us started there.
Yep. So they did it probably about 2 months late, but Carlos Mendoza has finally been fired as manager of the New York Mets. It is a step in the right direction. Mendoza is a great guy. As a person, I have no qualms with him, but he was just simply not built to manage this team. Coming off the success they had in 2024 in his first season, a lot of people had high hopes, but it's clear that there was no accountability culture. The team was checked out. You just can't keep, regardless of they're not firing him and bringing in someone else expecting to have a miracle and save the season. But when the team is that checked out and that unprepared, in that just out of sorts, someone kind of has to pay the price for that. And in this case, it was Carlos Mendoza.
Yeah, especially with a team that has so much money invested into it. It's kind of crazy to see that.
Yeah, I think that is just kind of the story, right?
Yeah, he was already on thin ice following last season. The worst. I mean, there's been a lot of bad collapses in Mets history. I don't know if I can necessarily still even say that was the worst, but they needed to have some success this year. And I think, even if they were in the midst of a playoff berth right now, if they were only a couple games out, I don't think they still make this change. But it's just been another rough stretch. They already had the 12-game losing streak earlier in the year. Now they're on a 6-game one, and they've just been getting absolutely 7-game after last night. And I mean, they've just been getting absolutely dominated. And most of them, they had a couple rough games against the Cubs where they just weren't even in it from the start. And again, no qualms or ill will towards Carlos Mendoza as a person, but it was time.
Do you see this having like an immediate impact on the team at all, or?
I mean, I think teams typically do, have a little bit of a bump after firing their manager sometimes. Again, the season's basically over. They're going to be selling over the next month. Right. I have zero expectations other than letting the kids play, letting them develop. I think it would be ridiculous to, really expect anything of the season from this season now.
Mm-hmm.
So, Andy Green has been playing. He had a good intro press conference yesterday. He did talk about playing Jared Young more at first, which I know was kind of a confusing point for Carlos Mendoza. He wasn't giving him consistent playing time, despite the fact that he's been great over there defensively. He's hit quite a bit. I think he's doing some things right already. My only request is that, again, I want him to play the kids. I want Carson Benz to be playing every day. I want AJ Ewing to be playing every day. Maybe as more guys get shipped out at the deadline, they'll call guys like Nick Morabito back up and let them get some more big league reps. That's just the focus of the season at this point is let the young kids play. Let them build, let them get some major league reps, let them build their skills. And, whenever we actually have baseball again at this season, I can't even say 2027 because I have absolutely no idea if we'll have any baseball at all next year. But, I mean, I don't even believe that Andy Green is like a legitimate candidate for a long-term manager job. But yeah, he needs to let the kids develop. That's the only thing that should be his only goal.
Yeah, there would have to be. I think there would have to be such a tremendous shift in this team's complexion completely just by a manager move. And you just have to go on the one of the best winning streaks to not be selling
they're
trade deadlines.
10 games back and in the end of June, and I mean even a 10-game win streak at this point will probably only make up a few games, and it's not going to be enough to realistically get you to be a buyer at the deadline. So, I do have some high hopes for the deadline. 2023 was the last time they were really sellers, and while at the time they looked like they got a really great prospect haul, no one from that class has panned out. I mean, Luis Angel Acuna was traded, Drew Gilbert was traded, Ryan Clifford is not doing shit in the minors right now. So, they have a lot of good bullpen arms they can trade. If Freddie Peralta gives them another couple good starts over the next few weeks, I could picture them getting some value from him. Maybe even a desperate team for a bat will pick up Bo Bichette. I have my qualms with David Stearns. I think there's a lot of things he's done wrong that's led them to the point where they are at this season. I do, however, trust his eye for minor league talent. So I'm really hoping that he uses this trade deadline as a good opportunity to set themselves up going forward. And, I think you could pretty easily get some guys that are going to be ready in the next year or so to play an impact role in the organization.
Yeah, I feel bad for y'all Mets fans at this time.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just because it's not even like people aren't pitching or people aren't batting. It's I've not tried to point this out because you already are going through it. You're already seeing it, but just from an outsider point of view, just seeing all of the errors and the stupid mistakes by people that are getting paid a good amount of money is just the most frustrating thing in the world. Like, these guys are supposed to be good. And again, that's not slump issues here at this point. It's, I don't know what you call it when you're
they're a fundamentally flawed team. I think on paper you have a lot of talented guys, but whether it's just not being able to handle the pressure of New York, or having to play at a position and the added stresses that come with that. As excited as I was at some of the moves, there were a lot of guys who, again, we knew we were going to have to play out of position, i.e. Bo Bichette, who we knew, we didn't obviously predict Lindor missing the extended time that he did, but we knew Bichette was going to have to play third. Acquiring more injury-prone guys like Luis Robert and Jorge Polanco. In a perfect world, if everything worked out about as well as it could have, the Mets would be cruising right now and maybe even leading the NL East. But it has been the Murphy's Law kind of season. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong so far, and unfortunately, that's just they're paying the price with this season.
Damn, didn't expect it to go this way.
I didn't either. I don't think anyone really expected it to go this way.
No, I expected the Cardinals to be not they're kind of at where they are right now. They're doing all right at 42 and 37, but I'm definitely starting to feel that NL Central is starting to break out a little bit. The Reds are under 500. Finally, it took them a little bit to get under 500. And the Brewers have taken a pretty commanding lead as what
Frickin' Brewers, man.
The second team that has 50 wins already, the Dodgers being at 52.
Do not speak their name.
Oh, I have to. I am bringing them up this week.
Oh no!
But it's for fun.
There's no bringing them up for fun, unless you're making fun of them.
Oh, I'm making fun of them.
Oh, okay. Go right ahead. Go. Floor is yours.
Oh, come on! You haven't. Good old Dalton rushing.
I don't think I heard this. What happened?
What? The catcher that showing up Shohei Ohtani on the mound.
Wait.
Oh my God! There's been like 5 different instances of this kid. This kid's come up. He's a real young guy. Dalton rushing. He's their catcher. One of their catchers. If he's their main catcher right now, I believe.
Okay.
I believe, what was it? Somehow, like, somebody got hit by a pitch, and he basically said, like, the guy's like, as he was walking away, he was like, the guy's like a fucking pussy or something. Just he's been having these reactions. He's been doing things have been kind of like just really bad sportsmanship to other teams, pitchers. He's tried to show up several pitchers, including Shohei, and twice in one game. Shohei got called a ball, which he thought it was a strike, but rushing told him no, don't call it. He really wanted to call it, but he listened to him. Then somehow, between miscommunication between the two, they got crossed up and a pitch went to the backstop, kicked off towards one of the dugouts. Rushing had to run it down, right? Rushing, after the ball actually ends up in the dugout, so it's out of play, turns and just makes like a bunch of gestures to Shohei, like, what are you doing, man? What the fuck, man? Dude, it showed him up so bad. It was like, oh, buddy. And like, I think it was like literally the next pitch, he throws in a strike that gets called a ball, and rushing doesn't call doesn't call for a challenge, and Shohei just says fuck it and does it himself. And rushing barks back at the mound like, no, don't do it. What are you doing? And to be fair, it was a strike by like 1/10 of an inch. It was a very tight strike, but Shohei was right. But it was just, you saw the line of frustrations of Shohei against this kid. And it's the thing is, he's just a kid too. He's not some big name multi-million-dollar catcher by any means. He debuted last year in May. I brought him up just to look at this. And not that he's doing bad and all, like, as a catcher, but oh man, it's just his attitude is shit, and he's trying to show up what is arguably one of the best players in the MLB. And prior to this, with the other instances, there's been a few more. You got to look him up. He's been under the microscope a bit because he's been kind of a douche, really. But looking into it, he didn't really apologize for those other events or his actions. He slid into second. When I say slid into second, he tried to break up a double play. With the guy being about 4 foot off of second base to the left towards the outfield. So he didn't slide hard into him, but he did make contact to him with the slide, and there was zero attempt to make it to the bag. So he's doing shit like that too.
I may have seen that clip.
So he's been doing some stuff, making some things. He's not apologizing for shit. He's kind of got a bad attitude, and it even showed it against his own big ass superstar pitcher, you know. He did apologize. He did apologize at the reporters asking him stuff after that game. I think he's starting to realize, like, if he doesn't quickly change his ways, he may find himself off teams because they're not gonna want him. It's one of those things where you could be talented, but nobody wants to fucking play with you. Then you're not going to get paid and you're not going to end up on a team. So, yeah, definitely after that one, it felt like he felt kind of remorseful. I think it was more so he realized, holy shit, I'm going to destroy my future if I keep this up. So we'll see if he turns it around. But it's been over this last month or so. He's been kind of just this. I don't like his attitude. He's kind of a prick.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I'm just cheering for the downfall of the Dodgers.
Oh my gosh!
Let him keep doing his thing if it brings down the Dodgers. That's all I'm saying.
There are 4 teams that I do not want to see win the World Series. If any other team besides them wins the World Series, I'm cool with it. But if we, as long as we don't see the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Phillies, or the Braves win the World Series this year, I'm cool. I'm in the cuck chair already. I know my team isn't doing shit. So I'm already just rooting for everyone else other than the teams I hate the most.
I'm fully on board the White Sox train this year.
Oh my God, I am too.
22-1 victory last night, and they're in first place.
I hate it only because the Cardinals had a poor series against the Royals just the other day. And then the fucking White Sox did that, and I go and look at my Cardinals, and I go, hey, boys, what you doing?
I mean, how crazy will it be if the White Sox hold on to make the postseason, if winning your division 2 years after being the worst team of all time? You know, there have been plenty of like worst to first stories, and you know, each one is really cool to see. But I mean, that's a really quick time to recover from being the worst team ever.
Yeah, like
I mean, that's crazy.
They've come a long way from the shitsball extravaganza for sure.
Hi, yes, they have,
and they are currently
what caused it.
They're currently tied with the Rays with the best home record in the MLB at 27-13.
Wow.
Oh wow.
They've won 23 of their last 28 home games.
I was actually really back before the Mets kind of went on this more extended losing streak. I was strongly considering going out to see the Mets play at Chicago against the White Sox. But that it's been rocking there, man. You know, people are showing up now, and for good reason.
Munetaka Murakami isn't even playing right now. Like,
they're still a they're still a young, very exciting team.
I was actually just gonna look that up because I hadn't heard I wasn't sure when his injury was expected to get him back. He says he's back. He was back in I can't speak. Wow. As of 13 hours ago, the star was back in batting practice on Friday.
It's good to hear.
He's still rehabbing, but he's still not back. And it'll be amazing to see what he does when he does get back. Currently, they are the leaders in the AL Central by 1 game because the Guardians have 2 games that they have played more than the White Sox, but lost both of them. So by percentages, that's why they're in the lead. They're just okay. You can't not root for a team, again, like you said, that has had such a quick turnaround from having the worst record in baseball, correct? The worst record in baseball.
Like, worst record ever, right? Or was that
right? I think it was ever, right? They broke history with it, I thought.
Yeah.
But the point being, if not the worst, the top bottom, you know, like down there, to see them not only in the lead of their division, they're being competitive, and then look, the Royals are a 34-49 team right now, which is why I was very upset that the Cardinals did not do well against them at all. There's some these are teams that my team has to win. We have to be beating or winning the series, if not sweeping the Royals. The Royals are not a good team right now. We gotta be more competitive against the Diamondbacks, which we did not win that series either. And now, you know, we lost our first game against the Marlins. Like, those are teams that are actively gonna be fighting us for the wild card spot. So it's like, guys, these are things you gotta do. Whereas the White Sox are out here and doing exactly what you're supposed to do. When you play a bad team, you put up 22 against them. Jesus. Make it stop. When do you call the mercy rule? Oh.
But may I have the floor to crash out now?
You may.
Okay, so the Seattle Mariners. Dear God.
Dear gods.
So, I'm going to talk about a man. This man is Rob Refsnyder. he, for the last 4 seasons before coming onto the Mariners this year, spent 4 years in let me pull this up here, make sure I get this right. He spent 4 years with the Red Sox, and with the Red Sox, he in the last season he went batted .269, 9 home runs, over 209 plate appearances. Pretty solid stats. But what really was the big deal for him is he has batted over 300 against left-handers for the last 5 straight seasons. And a career .255 hitter, but over 300 against left-handers. And left-handers is specifically what the Mariners struggle with, so that's why we signed him this year. We signed him, and this season he is now the worst hitter in baseball. He is batting 133.
Ooh.
133. And yeah, let me pull up this stats here again. Hold on. 133, and that's out with 105 at-bats. We have given him over 100 at-bats this season, and he's hitting 133. For some reason, we keep giving this man at-bats in high-leverage situations. Like 2 games ago, God, who were we playing? Let me pull up our schedule here. Against the Pirates, we lost 5-1. We put him in bases loaded 2 outs. We subbed him in bases loaded 2 outs, and he blew it. So I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know why we're giving this man at bats, because he is actively losing us games. Because I understand that, you know, the Mariners cannot hit left-handed hitters. That is the biggest problem of this season. Our Luke Raley has been our main DH spot, replacing him, and Dom Canzone have been the main DH spots between all 3 of them have been sharing DH time. But Luke Raley and Dom Canzone have been pretty bad at hitting left-handed hitters. But at this point, just let them go up against left-handed pitchers. Sorry, I meant left-handed pitchers. At this point, just let them go up against them, because they can't be doing any worse than a 133 hitter. It just pisses me off. And the Mariners just in general just have not been offensive. I remember one of the last times we were looking at the run differential for the Mariners, they were like a +30, +40 run differential. We're down to +6 run differential. The only thing that is keeping us in games and letting us win games is our pitching. With Logan Gilbert being voted as, I believe, the player of the month in the AL. The player of the week or player of the month, one of the two, because he had 2 very good quality starts that went 7 innings with a ton of strikeouts. He's been amazing this year. Brian Woo's kind of struggled on the road, but he's been really solid otherwise. Luis Castillo just had a really good start yesterday after having a really weak beginning of the season. Bryce Miller's been solid. This 6-player rotation in the pitching has been really solid overall, with a couple, performances that weren't quite there, but still, we're getting all these quality starts and then losing games because we can only score 1 or 2 runs, and it's really, really upsetting, because this team last season was 1 game away from the World Series, and we're just blowing it all away now with a barely 500 season. So yeah, that's my crash out.
Yeah, seems like pretty much all of us are just really not having a good time right now. And ironically, I mean, the AL is just so funny right now, because how do we have a team that's only 1 game over 500 winning their division?
Yeah,
and another team that is 2 games under 500 currently occupying the last wild card spot.
I don't understand. The AL is so cooked this year. Yeah. I don't get it.
It's one of those things where the the schedules are decided, and it's all about who plays what in divisions. Obviously, you're going to see your division a lot more, and when you do, and if you're in a really highly competitive division, it's you're going to beat up on each other and and other teams or other divisions where you're just good and everybody else is mediocre or worse. Suddenly, you look even better. So that's why you see kind of those things, and it's been weird. I mean, we've seen it in what is it? The not as much in baseball, but more so in the NFL, where there's been teams that have made the playoffs because their division was so bad that they had a losing record or like a 500 record. It's like that shouldn't happen. You're not good. There's other teams that deserve that spot. You know what I mean? But no, the division leader gets to go. So
yeah, I can't wait for the All-Star game to come in, and the AL is just gonna win.
I mean, we'll see.
I think it would be really funny though if the AL is just so bad and then they win the All-Star game.
That would be funny. I know. I just kind of like what you were saying. We're all kind of going through it because my issue is I didn't have much expectations for this year, but then the Cardinals kind of have been doing good, and there's been really good flashes of what could be something great. The question is this that precursor year before things really start to kick up, or is this the capturing the lightning in the bottle and you need to make the most of the season now as well? And more, if there wasn't a possible lockout, looming over this entire season, it wouldn't be as big of a difference. But now it's like we kind of might need to push this, because what if you don't have a season next year? That could fuck everybody up. You're never going to know. If there's a full year without baseball, like that's going to change everything. The years after that are going to be insane to see how people bounce back and how things go. But and that's the thing, the Mets, you guys were doing so great last year. You kind of doubled down on the spending this year to try and make this the year to go for it, and just everything has gone wrong, like you said. And then the Mariners, like you said, honestly should have been in the World Series. Things just didn't go your way and ended up missing that. And of course there's that whole there's going to be a regressions, right? But you kind of shore things up over the off season too, and you try to keep it pretty similar to what it was last year, and you go for it again, and God, it's just not working out. It feels like, again, capturing that lightning in the bottle. It's like, did you miss the chance? Was that last year? Impossible to know.
I still think the Mariners are still in it to possibly make a postseason run. It's just like ESPN seems to believe it because the Mariners currently are 8th in their power rankings, and I don't believe that at all. And the Cardinals are 9th in their power rankings. Yeah, I don't know what they're smoking, but apparently they see something that I don't.
I think there's a big thing where, see, I don't get the Cardinals. The Cardinals, the only thing that's going with the Cardinals is it's such a young team that could be blossoming at the right moment. So they could be showcasing what could be a roster of all-stars in the future. They could all be all-stars in the future, but they aren't right now, and they're turning into that. So there's there's obviously a real chance that could happen, but it's such a gamble to be putting them in that kind of power ranking right now. I don't think that's the best move. I will say at this point, just because the Cardinals really weren't, I mean, our spring training wasn't great either. Nothing really showed that the Cardinals would even be this competitive, I think. My point or my whole thing is, again, it's inner rivalries, right? Fuck the Cubs. I just need the Cardinals to outperform the Cubs this year, because the Cubs are trying to make themselves, they're expected to be better than the Cardinals, A, and B, the way they're trying to position themselves, like they're trying to build a lot of hype behind them, especially when you've got the White Sox now on the other side of the city making a lot of noise. So I'm just hoping the Cardinals can do their magic, beat down the Cubs, take a wild card spot, maybe have some fun with it. And if for some reason, this is the year of, hey, all these guys, 3 years from now are on different teams, and because they're all highly paid all-stars, cool. We'll take a World Series out of it. But what I kind of felt like that. I kind of started to get that vibe. I was like, this could be like that dark horse, like it shouldn't have happened, but this could be that last, that random team that really wasn't supposed to do anything wins the last World Series before the lockout kind of scenario is what I was thinking. But I'll be real with you. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think the Cardinals are going to do all right. They hopefully do sneak in a wild card spot, but I don't think they're going to win it. My thing now is I kind of honestly am on the I'm on the White Sox page.
Dude,
I want them to win the damn thing now, kinda. Like, it'd be really freaking cool.
I don't think they're quite ready to go all the way. But there is a very real chance it'll be back in the postseason. And man, the G spot, as my White Sox fan friend affectionately refers to it as, will be rocking for that. So I hope I hope.
I need
So
explanations.
their stadium was called Guaranteed Rate Field, and White Sox
Oh.
fans call it the G spot.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, they have the best at-home record, right?
They're
hitting the G spot.
I hope that they at least either win the division or they're the top wild card, because we need to have some home playoff games on the South Side, man. It's got to happen.
That'd be cool.
That's gonna be rocking.
I'm right. Yeah. That'll be fun. That'll be really fun.
Yeah, other than that, is there anything else you've seen that's been kind of crazy throughout baseball?
I mean, not necessarily in baseball.
I need to talk about this. The sad dog who didn't get a hot dog.
I know, he looked so upset.
But they found him. They got him a dog.
That's good. That's good. I will also say, since I don't believe we've had the chance to talk about it, all of the international fans that are here for the World Cup attending these games is really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see like all of the Scotland fans that just took over the Marlins game because nobody else goes to Marlins games? That was the atmosphere is just so fun. I mean, it's really fun to see them kind of come over and embrace baseball, since obviously in pretty much everywhere else in the world, baseball is definitely not a popular sport. But yeah. It's been a fun thing to really see.
I know. I saw a TikTok about somebody saying one of the big soccer fans went to an Angels game since they were in the area.
Yep.
And they play, they watched the game, and they're like, you know what? First game, I'm watching the Angels. It's the home, it's a home game. I'm gonna be an Angels fan. And the two people are like some sort of other like sports talk, and they all were like, "Oh God, everybody should tell that guy, don't do it, don't do it," because like, it's cute that like, yeah, that's your first game, that's your first team. Screw it, that'll be my team, right? But it's like, oh man, if you knew what the Angels have done with spending a lot of money for top talent and not getting anything done.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just now saw the video of Mr. Met dancing behind the guy talking about them firing the manager.
Look,
that's wild.
Everyone is really upset about that, and it's like, oh, we're just keep making ourselves a joke. Like, I think that is absolutely hilarious.
This is so fucking funny.
I mean, like at a certain point, man, you really just gotta laugh.
You do, though. I think that's important. That could be that's the thing, is if you're taking this too seriously, you're already in a shit situation. Why continue to just wade in the shit? Try to uplift yourselves a little bit.
I'm just looking, like I said, My expectation for the season at this point is to just see the kids develop and, obviously, hopefully continue to see a good individual season from Juan Soto. But like,
Juan
dude, you gotta
Soto
find
sellable?
ways to have fun with it. I mean, I have kind of graduated from mourning the season. Like, I was really upset about how this season was going for a while, and I was really pissed. But my resolution is to just have fun with it and just enjoy it the best I can. Watch
the White Sox.
I mean, yeah, I will. We'll see. We'll see. I do still have a soft spot for the Guardians because of my times in Cleveland. So it's kind of kind of hard to say that.
All right, I don't have anything more to mention unless you guys do.
I think I'm good.
I was just gonna say I kind of mentioned it while you were talking, and I'm sorry about that. Is Juan Soto up for sale at the trade deadline? He's got good numbers. He's hitting good
I
home runs.
mean, they signed him to a 15-year contract. They're not going to trade him.
Yeah,
he is Mr. Met.
Yeah, he's Mr. Met for the next 15 years. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell us how your team's doing. Tell us who you think's going to win the All-Star game. That'd be a good question. All right. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace out.